now you are aware of IAM. So after that we will try to learn about Terraform. So today's topic will be Terraform. So what is Terraform? Terraform is nothing but it is one of the language. Terraform is a language which is used to build the infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, it is nothing but resources in the AWS. Okay, let me share. Thanks for operating. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Terraform is nothing but it is a language. It is a HCL language. We call it as HCL, HashiCorp language. Okay. So Terraform. So it is HashiCorp is one of the vendor. So they invented this particular language to build the resources, build the services in the different cloud platforms. So we call this as a infrastructure as a code. Okay. So for example, generally you will be building the resources in the AWS console, right? So how we will build the AWS resources? Generally we will be logging to the AWS account and we will be opening the different services. It may be EC2, IAM, S3, VPC, Route 50, whatever it is. Okay. So now while creating this particular components in the cloud platform, okay, for example we are dealing with AWS. So if we wanted to create a bucket, for example, we will be just seeing graphically this particular console and we will be creating within the clicks. But what is the advantage of Terraform? We will see now. So consider this as a console. This is the AWS console. So first method, what we understood is like we can create the resources manually in this particular AWS console. But apart from that, we can create the resources using few components as well, using some APIs. Okay. So I'll show you the components. So mainly we can use AWS CLI, we can use Terraform, or we can use SDK. SDK is based on the Python. We can write the Python and we can build, but this will be not used. Okay. But mainly in the market, organizations are preferring Terraform. The persons or the engineers who are having knowledge on Terraform will be prioritized when compared to the other people. Okay. So what we will do using Terraform? Terraform is a HCL language. Using HCL language, we will be writing the code. HCL language will be writing the code, and we will be deploying that in the AWS. Okay. So using this Terraform, on the high level you can deploy the services like S3, EC2, or this, whatever all the services in AWS. Now, how we are going to deploy, where we are going to deploy. So we are having another component which we call it as cloud formation. There is a service called cloud formation. Using this also we can create the resources. Okay, we are having on the high level we are having 1, 2, 3. Okay, out of this, depend upon the organization, people will be using this. Okay, so AWS CLI generally we will be creating the access key and secret access key, and we will be creating the resources. Okay, but Terraform we need to write the code. Even AWS CLI is have its own documentation. Referring that, we can use the commands and we can create. Okay, but cloud formation, it is limited to AWS. Cloud formation you will be having, you need to write the code in YAML format. Okay, YAML language, it is a language, it's a configuration file. You will be all the resources in this particular YAML configuration file, and you will be deploying the cloud formation stacks. Okay, so which we need to prefer, which we need to learn, we will decide now. Okay, so this is this is not the initial stage, as you are just you're about learning AWS platform, right? So this is the advanced one. Even though it is advanced, you need to learn this particular Terraform. Okay, you can just have some knowledge on cloud formation, AWS CLI. This is not used in any organization. This is not that much expected, but on the high level you should have some idea on AWS CLI, and you should have some idea on cloud formation, but you should focus mainly on the Terraform is my suggestion. Because what is the advantage why I am telling to focus on Terraform means, wherever you go, whichever organization you go, people will be expecting this. This is used in different cloud formation, different cloud platforms. Okay, Terraform can be used in different cloud platforms like AWS cloud. You can also use this in Azure cloud. You can also use this in GCP. Okay, it can be interacted with the different cloud platforms. Using Terraform, you can write the Terraform code, and you can deploy the resources in different cloud platforms. But AWS CLI is limited to the AWS only. Cloud formation is limited to the AWS only. If you learn cloud formation, tomorrow if you are going to any other organization, if they are having, if they are asking, do you have any knowledge in Terraform, then it will be problem, right? So most of the organization will be preferring the Terraform. So how these resources are going to create the resources in the cloud platforms? That is through APIs. Okay, the interaction between this particular components and the AWS console through API, they will be backend. They will be having some APIs, and through APIs they will be creating the resources. So like this, the actual high level resources creation will be there. Okay, so now, do we need to learn this language as soon as possible? No. You have an easy method to organize your code using the official Terraform document. Okay, so Terraform is providing you an official document. So basically you can type just on this Terraform AWS. Okay, generally you type this Terraform AWS, and you can just go to the console, this particular HashiCorp official document. From this we will be creating the code from the scratch. So this is the Terraform official documentation. Here you will be having, as you have given the provider this particular AWS, right? So you will be getting all the AWS related services in the left side section. Okay, so here you can, whichever service you wanted to launch, you can just go for that, select that service, and you can, for example, if you want to launch some S3 service, okay, S3 buckets, you can search with S3 and you can just come here, see here, this is a simple storage S3 service, and here down you can refer all the components and you can prepare your code. Okay, so we will get to know how to write the code, okay, no issues, but how to what are the prerequisites to deal with Terraform, we will just see. Okay, so let me open this particular document. So previously people till COVID, okay, 2021 to 22, people are not fully using Terraform. Okay, so from last 3 years, Terraform, 3 to 2 years, people are expecting Terraform as a mandatory skill in the organizations. Okay, some organization used to create the resources manually. They used to, but using Terraform, there are some advantages. Okay, to basically Terraform will track all the resources which you are deploying in the cloud platforms. Everyone can easily track which are the resources are deployed in the cloud platform. Okay, so that is the advantage of Terraform. So with this particular Terraform, if you are an organization having multiple engineers, so we can just keep our Terraform code in GitHub and everyone can access that particular Terraform code. We will discuss deeply. So let me open this document and we'll see some introduction for this Terraform topic. So basically this particular Terraform is an infrastructure as a code IAC tool that allows you to build, change and version infrastructure safely and efficiently. So Terraform is a infrastructure as a code component. When I say infrastructure as a code, you are building the infrastructure using the code. You can have the automation of the infrastructure. We are having some key points here. You can maintain multiple environments using the Terraform. Okay, you can keep your infrastructure change history in the version control system like Git. So we'll deal with the Git. Okay, so we'll discuss on the Git topic as well in the coming classes, but on the high level we can create our code and we can store in GitHub. So we can install Terraform. Okay, so directly you can go to the Google and just type Terraform. Install. If you are using Windows, then you can click on Windows. If you are using Mac OS, you can click on Mac. Go for the Mac. I'll go with the first one. So you can follow this. Okay, if you are using Apple laptop, you can go with the Mac OS, or if you are using Windows laptop, you can just click on this this one AMD 64 and you can install that. Okay, so once you install, you can open your command prompt CMD. You just type CMD in the search and just open this command prompt and just try to give this Terraform command, Terraform --- version. I'll see whether I installed or not. Terraform --- version. I believe I have installed it. Yeah. So this is a version I have installed. It is V1 version 1.7.5. So current version is this one. It seems. Is it the same which we have seen here? Go up. Yeah, it is 1.9.7. That's fine. Yeah, once you install, you can check the version. Okay, so after your installation is done, okay, so you can come down. I'll try to provide you this document as well. Okay, so this is related to Linux operating system. we are having, mostly people will be using Windows or laptop, right? So we will see here. So you can just after downloading, you will be downloading somewhere, okay? The path will be somewhere, right? For example, if your Terraform is downloaded in this particular local disk, okay, here in local disk you have installed Terraform. Just you need to set the environment path, okay? Basically, whenever we install some software in our laptop, we need to update the environment variable, okay? If you install Python or anything, so you will be updating the environment, this variables. I'll show you that. It's very loading, okay. Nothing, you need to just update the path where you have installed, okay? So yes, I'll open from here. It is fast. I'll just close this one, we don't require this. Okay, come down. See, as I told you, if you would have installed it in the local disk C, okay, it will be something like this. Now you can create the environment variable as shown below, okay? You can refer this document. Once you type here in the search bar, if you can type environment variable, you will get this prompt, okay? This prompt in the system properties. You can just click on this advanced. In the environment, you just click on the path and you will be opening this particular prompt. Here you can click on new and you can update the Terraform, that particular path. And edit, see, I type environment and here you will be finding edit system environment. I'll show you. This edit system environment variables. See, same like this only, okay? I'll just show for you sample. Advanced environment variables and click the new, not here, sorry, here system variables, and just to click on edit, not edit, path. Just click on the path, edit, add new, click new and give the path for your just click on new and just copy this. That's it. Your environment will be set up for the Terraform, okay? So let me close this. Once that is done, you can give the command terraform-v or terraform version. You will get the Terraform install on it. If you see here AMD 64, you can go with the AMD 64, okay? So is it fine installation? If you are having any doubt, please let me know now itself. After that we will go further. Step by step documentation is created how to deal with the Terraform. Yeah, Windows. Are you using Mac? Are you using Apple laptop? No, okay. So then you can ignore, right? You can follow these steps which I have told you. You can follow this, you can install this in this document itself. You can see in document itself it is there, and if you are still if you are having if you want to know how to install it in Linux, you can just type in YouTube how to install Terraform in Linux. You'll get number of videos. You need not to get, yeah, you can get the instance, you can launch it in the instance as well, and or else if you are having any virtual box also, you can install it. VM, generally we have some VMs, right? Virtual box, there also you can install. VMware workstations will install, right? Generally open source software, there also you can perform the installation. Of course, for the Linux installation you can just type here, okay, in Google. If you want me to show that, then I will show that. Terraform installation Terraform installation in Linux server. For example, if you in Linux also you have many things, right? In Linux, if you have launched Amazon Linux, you can type specifically to that. If you are launching Ubuntu server, you can go specifically to that. Okay. We have an option. Yeah, you can follow the steps. You will get number of steps. Okay. Just execute these steps. Simple commands. Okay. You will execute this first step. You will execute this. You will extract the file which you have downloaded from the internet, and you will be seeing the version like this. Simple. Okay. I hope you are fine with this installation. I'll go forward with this Terraform concept. Once we have installed it, what we are going to do? Let's see now. So, I have told you that using Terraform you can launch the resources in this particular console. Right? So, how this Terraform knows this particular? There are number of AWS accounts, right? For example, this is Ganesh AWS account, this is Prasanna's AWS account, and there is another AWS account for other guys, okay, for Rani. So now in which particular AWS account you are going to launch the infrastructure? How do you configure? There should be some map, right, path. There should be some attachment or some authentication. Without authentication, how this Terraform will know that to launch the resources in A account, B account, C account? That we will see. I will not confuse you with the multiple accounts. I will just focus on only the single account. Okay. So I will just ignore this. Yeah. For example, you are having one AWS account. I wanted to launch one S3 bucket in this particular account. That is a requirement. How this Terraform will authenticate to this AWS account? How? Using access key and secret access key. We will be creating the IAM user. From there we will be configuring the access key and secret access key. I hope Prasanna is aware of AWS CLI configuration or authentication and creating the resources through AWS CLI. That we have already learned. Okay. And even Ganesh is also having knowledge on AWS CLI, how we will create the resources. And Rani, we will discuss separately on the AWS CLI. That is not a big deal. I will show you now itself. But just concentrate on this particular Terraform. Through Terraform, how we are going to authenticate. Okay. Same process. Nothing is different here. How this authentication will happen? This authentication will happen using the access key and secret access key. Yeah. So access key and secret access key. అంటే అథెంటికేషన్ ఎలా జరుగుతుంది? ఇది కీ, ఇది లాక్. యాక్సెస్ కీ అనేది కీ, ఈ AWS అనేది లాక్. ఈ టెరాఫామ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే ఈ కీతోని ఈ యొక్క లాక్ అనేది ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంది, అంటే రిసోర్స్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే. సో నౌ వాట్ వి విల్ డూ, విల్ ఫాలో ది ప్రాసెస్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ అ గుడ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఫర్ యూ ఫర్ ది రిఫరెన్స్. సో from the scratch it will be showing you Terraform basics, understanding the HCL HashiCorp configuration. See here, HashiCorp configuration language. What do you mean by HCL? HashiCorp configuration language. Okay, that's fine. There is a sample basic Terraform configuration here. We will see this. Yeah. Ideally, whenever you are going to deal with Terraform, first of all you need to have this particular components. From where you will get these components? From the IAM. Okay. In the IAM, generally in the IAM we will create the IAM user, right? For the IAM user we will be having the security credentials. Okay, I'll show you that in this session. Okay, so last time when we are discussing the IAM topic, we have learned about some of the components like policies, right? inline policies, how to create users. We know how to create the groups, how to add the users into the groups, how to give the certain permissions to the users. Those things we have learned till now. So today I will show you there is another component called security credentials component in the IAM section. IAM, I am routing to the IAM page. Okay, this is IAM dashboard. I will go to the users. So basically, you know there are two components in the AWS. Two users. One is root user, one is IAM user, right? One is root, or we call it as admin user, and we have normal IAM user, or we call it normal IAM or normal user. Now I am clearly telling you that you can have this particular access keys will be having for admin user or for normal user. Okay, we can get the access key, secret access key for the IAM user or normal user. But when you use access key and secret access key of the root user, what happens? That particular components or permissions will be having full access. With admin user you can do anything, right? Admin user has full access. If you use this particular access key and secret access key of the admin user, you can do anything, but that is not recommended. That is not recommended one. Always you need to use the access key for the IAM user only, because you will be having restriction to the IAM user, right? You will be giving only specific permissions to the IAM user. That's why we can go for using this particular access key and secret access key for the IAM user. Okay, so I will go to the one of the user. Okay, so I will select this particular Vivek user. Okay, I will take I will generate the access key and secret access key for the Vivek. Do we have the access key? No. Fine. I will remove this particular access. I will not give any access as of now. This is fresh. Treat this particular user as a fresh IAM user. And here on the security credentials tab, you will be getting the console link for this particular IAM user. Okay. Generally, when you download, you will be getting the link for the IAM user Vivek's credentials. You will be getting the link for the IAM, this particular Vivek's console login, right? This is that, and you can see the last password updated 11 days ago, and last console sign in 8 days ago. Okay, this is console sign in. If someone wants to ask you to change the there will be some request to change the password for the Vivek. Okay, 11 days back we have created the Vivek user, and we have given some user password to the particular end user. It may be user or client. Now client is asking you to change the password for this particular user. How you will do? You will just come here, security credentials. Here you will be clicking on this manage console. Okay, once you click the manage console, you will be having the disable console access, and you will be having reset password. Okay, you can just click on reset password, and you can change the particular permissions. It's got struck. Just be on hold. Okay, once I click this reset password, you can give custom password or auto generate. You can reset password. Okay, like that you can give the password. You know the Prasanna and Ganesh know the MFA. So MFA is nothing but it is the extra multi-factor authentication. It is the extra layer of authenticating the AWS account. So for revising purpose, Rani, this is for you. So basically this when we will be using, right? So already we will be having some security for the AWS account. Generally, while we are logging into the AWS account, it will ask for the username and password, email ID and password, right? That is the first layer of security. So this MFA is the entity where it will increase the security of your AWS account. So for this you can simply click on the assign MFA device. Here you can give some whatever the device or MFA, whatever the name you can do here. After this, it will, you can go and click for the authenticator app and click on next. Here you can just install Google Authenticator in your mobile or Geo mobile or Authy app from the Play Store. Once you install this any one of the application, if once you open the application, you can scan this QR code. Okay, you try to scan this QR code. Once you scan this QR code, you will be getting two codes running in అంటే 30 to 60 seconds వ్యవధిలో ఒక కోడ్ రన్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, ఇలా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇట్లా రన్ అవుతుంది. సో మీరు ఫస్ట్ కోడ్ ఇలా ఎంటర్ చేసిన తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ 30 secondsకి ఇంకొక కోడ్ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది అన్నట్టు ఇట్లా. సో ఇట్లా జనరేట్ అయిన తర్వాత సెకండ్ కోడ్ కొట్టి యాడ్ కొట్టగానే మీకు ఎంఎఫ్ఏ అనేది కాన్ఫిగర్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, అదే అలా కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకోండి. మీరు నెక్స్ట్ టైం AWS అకౌంట్కి లాగిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు మీరు పాస్వర్డ్ ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత కూడా అది మీరు ఆ ఎంఎఫ్ఏ ఏదైతే ఈ అప్లికేషన్ ఉంది కదా, ఈ అప్లికేషన్లో మీరు ఆ కోడ్ అడుగుతారు. కోడ్ కొట్టినప్పుడే మీరు లాగిన్ అవుతారు. జనరల్గా మనం ఓటీపీ ఇట్లా మన జీమెయిల్కి ఇట్లా అప్పుడప్పుడు కన్ఫర్మ్ అని అడుగుతుంది కదా నోటిఫికేషన్, అలాంటి ప్రాసెస్ అనమాట ఎంఎఫ్ఏ అంటే. అర్థమైందండి ఎంఎఫ్ఏ అంటే? Yeah, so as of now I'm not creating for I'm just showing you. Please try to configure MFA for your AWS account today. So that is MFA. And next after MFA, here you have another option, access key. Here you are going to create the access key and secret access key for your user. మనం ఏదైతే ఇందాక చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా, ఈ యాక్సెస్ కీ అండ్ సీక్రెట్ యాక్సెస్ కీ ఐఏఎం యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తామని చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా. సో ఇవి ఇక్కడ మనం క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం అన్నట్టు ఇక్కడ. అయితే ఇదేంటి, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ ప్రోగ్రామేటికల్ యాక్సెస్. ఓకే, సో ఐ విల్ క్రియేట్ ద యాక్సెస్ కీ. జస్ట్ సింప్లీ click on this particular create access key. Click on command line interface. CLI అంటే మనం ఏదైనా సరే ఈ యొక్క కమాండ్ లైన్ ప్రాంప్ట్తోనే మనం ఇక్కడ ఏ కమాండ్స్ ఇస్తే అక్కడ ఆ పర్టికులర్ కన్సోల్లో రిసోర్సెస్ అనేది క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి. కాబట్టి దీన్ని మనం CLI ఆప్షన్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని ఇక్కడ ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ అని క్లిక్ చేసి నెక్స్ట్ కొట్టండి. నెక్స్ట్ కొట్టి ఇఫ్ యూ వాంటెడ్ టు గివ్ సమ్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఆర్ యూ కెన్ ఇగ్నోర్ దిస్ ఇస్ ఆప్షనల్ అండ్ జస్ట్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ క్రియేట్ యాక్సెస్. Once you click on the create access key, you can download the CSV file. You can download the CSV file over here, and if you want you can just click on this show and you can keep it in the notepad. Okay, remember, if you don't download and if you click on done, you will lose the secret access key. Don't try to keep it in notepad, that is not a good practice, but try to download the CSV file. It will be in your local system forever. We'll see here Vivek access keys. Just open this and you can see this particular credentials, this particular access key will be over this Excel. See here, we will use this access key and secret access key and we will connect to the AWS account. Okay, so fine, I'll click on done, and now I will show you this. Okay, for other people this will be a revising session for AWS CLI, and for Rani exclusively you will see this how we will connect how we will create the resources in AWS account using AWS CLI. Okay, so now I'll reroute to my this particular command prompt. Okay, we will use this command prompt for configuring the AWS CLI. Okay, so even you can use GitHub Git bash as well. Okay, even you can use this Git bash. You can download this Git bash tool in your local, and even you can use this AWS configure let that respond. We'll wait for that, which is fast. Let's see if we'll type it. So first thing what you need to do, you need to type this AWS configure. Okay, AWS configure is a command where it will allow you to interact with the AWS account. Okay, so I'm typing this command AWS. I'll give the commands in the notes. Okay, don't worry. Which is the one responded? Yeah, okay, I'll go with this Git. This is user friendly. So what it is telling when I type AWS configure, it is asking for the AWS access key. Okay, it is asking for the access key. Now I'll open my Excel. This is my access key. I'll just simply copy this, go here, click on right click of your mouse, paste it, enter. Again it is asking for the secret access key. Go here, copy the secret access key, and just click on right click here, paste, click on enter. Okay, is it visible? Do you want me to increase this font, background? Fine, I'll just use this. This is some work. So okay, so now it is asking for the default region name. Okay, it is asking for the region name. That means generally if you wanted to create some S3 bucket in particular region, or else when you are setting this particular access key configuration, you can define your region here itself. So whenever you are trying to create the resources, it will be creating the particular resources in US East 1 only. What is US East 1? You know, right? What is US East 1? It is basically it is North Virginia. It is region. Correct. What is that? It is US East 1. So ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ US East 1 దగ్గర నేను ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ AP South 1 అని ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, అది ఓవర్ రైట్ అయిపోయి ముంబై రీజియన్గా తీసుకుంటుంది. అంతే కదా, AP South 1 అంటే ఏంటి? ముంబై రీజియన్. అలా మనం ఓవర్ రైట్ చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. లేదు నాకు ఓన్లీ నార్త్ వర్జీనియా రీజియన్ అని నేను కావాలనుకుంటే ఎంటర్ కొట్టచ్చు. ఓకే, ఇక డిఫాల్ట్ అవుట్పుట్ ఫార్మాట్ని మీరు ఇగ్నోర్ చేయొచ్చు, జస్ట్ ఎంటర్. ఓకే, వన్స్ ఎంటర్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మీకు ఇలా వస్తుందన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు CLI ఆపరేషన్స్ చేయొచ్చు. CLI కమాండ్స్ యూజ్ చేసి మీకు ఇక్కడ కమాండ్ యూజ్ చేస్తే ఇక్కడ బకెట్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వాలి. మీరు కావాలంటే ఇక్కడ చూడండి, నా బకెట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? ఇక్కడ S3 బకెట్స్ ఏం లేవు. ఇక్కడ నేను కమాండ్ ఇక్కడ కొడితే ఇక్కడ AWSలో రిసోర్స్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వాలి. సో అది ఓవరాల్గా కాన్సెప్ట్. అది AWS CLI అంటే అలా అనమాట. సింపుల్గా ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక ఆపరేషన్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాను, AWS S3 LS అంటే ఈ కమాండ్ ఏంటి? ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ. AWS which cloud platform, S3 which service, LS is nothing but it's a list. I just wanted to list the buckets which is available in this particular AWS account. How this API call will be going? API call will be going backend from this particular application to the AWS account. How it will go? Using this access key and secret access key authentication. Now what it is telling, just see here, an error occurred, access denied when calling the list bucket operation. Now tell me what is the action item on us. What we need to do now? It is telling Vivek user is not authorized to perform this list all my buckets. Why is it throwing this? Any guess from any of you? Yes, correct. Who is Vivek? Vivek is a IAM user. It is telling that Vivek is not authorized. అంటే వివేక్ పర్మిషన్స్ లేవని చెప్తుంది. అంటే పర్మిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ఒకసారి వివేక్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఇక్కడ వివేక్ యూజర్ దగ్గర కింద ఏమైనా పర్మిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? లేదు. అందుకనే మనం ఇక్కడ చూస్తుంటే అవ్వట్లేదు అనమాట. ఓకే, సో వాట్ ఐ విల్ డూ, ఐ విల్ ట్రై టు యాడ్ పర్మిషన్. నేను ఇప్పుడు రీడ్ ఓన్లీ పర్మిషన్ అటాచ్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే, అటాచ్ పాలసీ డైరెక్ట్లీ. I think you are very familiar with giving the permissions for the policy permission for the user. I'm giving read only access. Next, create. Okay, so this is the read only access which I have given for the Vivek user. And if you drop down this plus, if you just click on this plus symbol in the particular drop down, you will be getting all the JSON. Okay, in the back end there will be JSON, right? So this is the JSON file for the read-only access. What they are giving? Effect, allow. They are giving get, list, describe. Only this. Get means download the object. Vivek can download. Vivek can list the buckets. He can describe, or this is a basic they have given for the read-only access. Now I will go back to the command prompt. I will re-execute this particular command. Just wait, don't ignore this. Wait for that operation. Ideally it should work very fast, but I'm just thinking it's because of my internet, or else it's because of this application. There is no response. I mean, this command has worked, but it is not able to see the buckets. It is not showing any buckets. Why? Do we have any buckets? No. That is the reason we are not able to see any buckets. If we would have any buckets in this particular console, it will show you the buckets here. Okay, now I will create a bucket from the AWS CLI. I will create the bucket from the AWS CLI by executing the command AWS S3 MB S3:// I'll give the bucket name test bucket example some number. Okay, so listen carefully. This is very simple command. Okay, AWS cloud platform S3 service MB make bucket. MB means make bucket. This is the syntax. S3:/ is the syntax. Whenever you are mentioning some bucket name or any bucket, you have to give this command and then following bucket name. Okay, so I'll just click enter and we'll wait whether it is able to create the bucket or not. Well, it should create the bucket now. Why it is showing like this? What is this error? Why we got this error? Read the bucket. Perfect. So in this way you need to analyze. So as an engineer, you need to just think why this error has occurred. Just blindly don't panic why I'm getting some error. No, you have to think in such a way. You need to troubleshoot the issue. Why we are getting this error? You need to clearly read this particular error. You will be easily knowing that this particular user is getting access denied when calling the create bucket operation. Which user? This particular Vivek user is not authorized to perform create bucket operation. మనం bucket creation కి ఆప్షన్ ఇచ్చామా, పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చామా ఇక్కడ వివేకి? లేదు. ఓకే, సో మనం ఐదర్ కస్టమ్ పాలసీ ద్వారా ఇవ్వచ్చు, we can create an inline policy, or else we can create directly, we can give the S3 full permissions. Okay, so inline policy already మనం చూసాం. I'll give full access for the S3. Now let's see whether he is able to clear the bucket or not. So మనం bucket full access ఇచ్చాం S3 కి. I'll rerun this command. What's the output? Make bucket operation has done, and if you get like this, bucket has been created in the console. Okay, so I'll route to the S3 service. I will refresh this particular component. Who created this? How did we create this bucket? From the AWS CLI, not from the console. I think I have justified how we will create the resources from the AWS CLI, and further you need to ask the question from where I got this command. Okay, you can follow the AWS documentation, AWS CLI documentation. From there you can refer the commands. If you type AWS CLI documentation, you can just go here and you can just click on the service which you wanted to use. Okay, so user guide, or else you can type AWS CLI documentation S3. Here you can see the syntax. Okay, like this AWS S3. This is for copy. Okay, you can AWS S3 ls AWS. We have some commands available here. ls make bucket. If you click on make bucket here, it will show the syntax. Okay, so down, see here AWS S3 make bucket. This is a command I have executed, right? Like this you can create the bucket. If you wanted to specifically create some bucket in some region, you can follow this particular command. Okay, so like this you can follow, or else you can type directly you can Google whatever the component you wanted to create in the Google, and there you will be get. But I'm telling you can refer from this AWS CLI document. Okay, that is regarding the AWS CLI. And in the same way, how we are going to deal with Terraform, we'll see now. Okay, so you have a good idea on AWS CLI now. AWS CLI can be installed in your local Windows system. Okay, so how can we install AWS CLI? Means AWS CLI installation. Just type here AWS CLI installation on Windows, and just click on the first one, and you can select the Windows component directly. Okay, in out of this, if you want, wherever you want to install, you can follow those steps. Okay, if you want to install in Linux server, you can install, but now we are using the laptops, right? You can just click on this Windows and just click on this. Once you click, you will be AWS CLI will be installed in your local system. After installation, you can type you can open git bash, or else you can open cmd command prompt, and you can just type AWS -- version to just validate whether AWS CLI is installed or not. Like this you will get. Okay, like this you will get. Fine, and I'll give you the commands. Okay, in here, what are the commands we have used here till now? AWS configure AWS S3 ls AWS S3 MB S3 : / bucket name. So in this way you can do the commands. If you wanted to remove some bucket, you can just simply change it to AWS S3 RB remove bucket, okay, : / bucket name. You can see the syntax. If you wanted to copy the file from your local to the S3 bucket, okay, you can use that path. You can also perform some of the operations from the AWS. If you go back, you have here some options, right? To move, to copy, okay. If you wanted to copy some file which is there in your local laptop to the S3 bucket, you can use this syntax. You can come down, okay, in the CT, this particular CP synopsis, you can come down here, okay, and you can execute this particular operations. Come down, yeah, this is the syntax. They'll use some examples, okay. Copy a local file to S3. Example. What is the syntax? AWS S3 CP. That means copy text file to this particular bucket. You can use the destination path. This is the source and this is the destination. So configure MFA, next install Terraform and AWS CLI. Today's to-do task, okay, for you. And what else? Configure create S3 bucket using AWS CLI, okay, and yeah, let's continue. Okay, this is a to-do task. So if you open this particular document, what they are saying, generally whatever we have done they are showing here, okay. So AWS account, create an IAM user, create a Terraform. Okay, this is for spinning. Okay, that's fine. So even through from the using Terraform, we can also create the resources, same like how we used this particular thing, right? CLI, via CLI, how we created the S3 bucket. Via Terraform also we can create the same component. How we are going to configure that? I'll show you the basic how we are going to create the S3 bucket through Terraform, okay, how we will segregate the code. Now I will just route to the Terraform official documentation, okay. I'll go here and I will just search S3, and in this, okay, in this you can see here AWS S3 bucket. AWS S3 bucket. I'll just refresh this. So before dealing with Terraform, another prerequisite is you need to install Visual Studio. Install VS Code. So this particular VS Code, generally it's a popular application which is used by the developers, okay. You can use or you can write any language using this particular VS Code. It may be a Python, Node.js, Angular, Terraform, okay, any language you can use. So I'm having that installed in my laptop. Let me try to open the Visual Studio. Okay, so this is the Visual Studio code. You can download it from the Google. So let me open that Visual Studio. So this is the interface, okay, for the Visual Studio. So once you open Visual Studio, it will be something like this, okay. So this is the application, this is the client. So here you have some options like file, edit, selection, view.